Can you hear me now? Is that better? Hey Tricia. Can you hear me now? This should be better because it's coming straight from the microphone. If not, I'll have to fix it and then jump on live again. Let me know if you can actually hear me. Okay, great. Thanks Tricia. Thanks for letting me know. I have to flick around in various settings I have depending where I'm going live from. So this is an impromptu go live because I was watching a near-death experience video this evening, and on it was a common statement that's often made, that everything's happening perfectly and that we are exactly where we're meant to be. It's an interesting statement because I was feeling it through this when I heard it. I hear it a lot, and it's a statement which is fascinating because it can never be true. It can never be wrong. It can never be untrue. We can never ever really be where we're not meant to be, and we can never. Things around us can never not be happening perfectly for us. And the reason for that, if we feel this through from a universal sense, because if we think about it, if we think about these things from a mind sense, we'll disagree with that most of the time, because we'll think, well, why are these things happening to us, or collectively or globally? They shouldn't be meant. These things shouldn't be. They shouldn't be perfectly happening all, because they're exactly where we're meant to be and exactly what should be happening to us, because they're for us within our mental, physical ego cells. We see this world through the way it impacts us, and its effects on others as we see around us through negative or positive outcomes. And so we won't ever really agree with that statement all the time, that we're exactly where we're supposed to be, because some of us may be in places that we wish we weren't, in situations that we wish we weren't, with people, or in countries or locations that we wish that we were not, and we just find ourselves there. And also what's happening around us is not ideal. We didn't create it, so why is it perfect? But if we think about it, it's actually, and I don't like to say this because the mind part of me doesn't agree, but the spirit part of me does. Because from a spiritual perspective, it's a statement that is always true, no matter how we view it. Because if we take the first statement, we are exactly where we're meant to be, is a result of our actions, words, thoughts and intentions, decisions we make. And they result in timelines of experience. The timeline experience that we I suppose venture into is the one that has the most force given to it, i.e. the most intention, thought and action to its realization. And the same applies to everything's happening perfectly in our lives. The same universal laws apply, because things happen to us because of where we put ourselves, what we say, what we do, what we allow individually and also collectively. So what we ignore, and because of these fundamental universal laws of thought, intention, karma, free will, energy, which together culminate in outcomes for ourselves, timelines for ourselves, and then put us in places, locations, countries where we find ourselves, and in situations or experiences that we find ourselves that may not directly be intended by us or physically manifested by us, but it's a collective manifestation, such as what is going on today. So in that respect, things are happening perfectly, and we are exactly where we're meant to be. It's an interesting thing, really, because it's difficult for us to accept that notion. And I don't actually feel that the spiritualists who make these statements often understand what that means, because it needs to be understood from a spiritual perspective and not a mind, ego, human, intellectual or narcissistic perspective, because from those we view ourselves as individuals. So around us right now in our actual lives, things are happening perfectly because it's the outcomes of of every action, word, thought and intention. Now the flip side to that is, if we take, remember, universal laws they're brutal because they're simple. They're brutal in their simplicity of action and implementation, in that they don't care about what we think. They're just universal laws, and they apply themselves to everything, no matter what state, animate or inanimate, conscious or unconscious. They just apply. They just are, as universe just is, as source is all that is. All universal laws just are laws, and they don't discriminate. They just apply and impose their brutal simplicity on us because we fail to understand that they're there. Now, because everything's happening perfectly and we are where we're meant to be, does that automatically imply that we are on our intended path? It's another interesting thing to think about and consider. And I'll put that out there. What I've already suggested and mentioned, I'd put that out there for people to think about, but also think about and consider, because everything's happening perfectly for us and we are where we're meant to be, does that also mean implicitly that we're following our intended path, i.e. that crucial bit of life that we actually came here to achieve, that crucial bit of experience and expansion that we came here to achieve, to overcome? That's what we call purpose. Now, I can't answer that for anyone else, because until we discover our purpose through the inner work and we ask the universal divine to show us, to release that purpose from within and reveal it in whatever manner that suits our vibration, can't say whether you're following your purpose or not. But what I can say is that it doesn't explicitly mean that you are. So things can be happening perfectly and you could be where you're supposed to be, but that doesn't always mean that you're following the intended purpose of why your spirit decided to incarnate into a bodysuit at this time. Because remember, we can make actions, words, thoughts and intentions that will create timelines, karmic movements, a movement of energy through our free will of action, word, thoughts and intention, creating multiple timelines, and we can traverse any of those timelines. And they don't all go down the path of purpose. They could veer down many different pathways of experience, not all doesn't mean that they're wrong at all. It doesn't even mean that they're right. They're just pathways of experience. But if we continue to make movements, actions, words, thoughts and intentions that veer us away from purpose, that we're not aware of, then we won't be on the path or the purpose of fulfilling an intention that we came for why we came here in our lives. But we may find ourselves in the perfect place and everything is happening perfectly for us because it's as it was deemed through our previous actions, words, thoughts and intentions. So this is an interesting thing because it's a statement that can never be untrue. It's if we really feel about it, we'll understand that, look at it from a spiritual sense. And I thought I'd mention that because I thought on a near-death experience video today, and a chap called Anthony Chain, I don't know, maybe destroying his name right now, makes some amazing videos. He actually interviews near-death experiences and speaks to scientists as well, who speak about their investigation discoveries into the quantum field, science, physics, to explain the nature of life and existence. And actually, a lot of the ones he interviews come to the same conclusions, but from a different, coming at it from a different angle. So I'll put a link to him. I'm not promoting him, I'm not linked to him at all, but he makes some amazing videos, and his latest one that he published today was very good. They're very easy and gentle on the ear, the way he produces them. An excellent talent, directed in a very beautiful manner, actually. So I've been following him for a while. So, and they often say everything's happening perfectly and we are exactly where we're meant to be on these videos, and actually on most other spiritual forums or people that you may meet. So have a think about that. It's just something I wanted to throw out there. Thank you for those who've jumped on. Thanks, Risha. You clearly can't sleep because you should be. So I thought I most likely have thought of these impromptu ones, and I used to record a lot of my previous videos like this, and so I may be doing these in the future. So I hope the background music is not too loud. I'll play this back when it's streaming again after I close down, and make sure it's not too loud. But it's great speaking to you all again, and I'll leave this with you, something to stew over and think about, contemplate, because it's a very interesting and very powerful statement in itself. So okay, thanks very much. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you guys when you listen to this, and God bless and divine blessings. Thank you.